by Judy Batista. Take it away, Ian.
Let's focus in, Rich, on the Tennessee Titans head coaching search. Took a huge swing early this week, trying to lure John Harbaugh into their building, actually planning to go visit him in Baltimore before the Giants locked in and eventually finished that deal with Harbaugh. But they are set for an important week moving forward. Our understanding is that the Tennessee Titans are setting up second interviews with a couple of their big-time candidates. Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, who no doubt is a top candidate in Miami as well. And then Matt Nagy, the Chiefs offensive coordinator. Nagy's an interesting one as well, guys. A former head coach, did incredibly well. A coach of the year in Chicago with Mitch Trubisky certainly has done an excellent job coordinating the Chiefs offense. The Tennessee Titans hire could be coming this week, guys.
Speaking of a second round of interviews, Nate Scheelhaase, the Rams pass game coordinator, has advanced to that portion of the program with the Cleveland Browns. You're seeing the other requests for him on the screen. The Steelers, the Raiders, the Ravens, those are the ones that have interviewed him so far. He hasn't been an offensive coordinator at the NFL level, but he did call plays at Iowa State. He's a former quarterback, and having worked with both Matt Campbell at Iowa State and Sean McVay in the NFL level, he's got the X's and O's and the leadership boxes checked as well. So this is a guy who could skip that offensive coordinator step, go right to head coaching. He has impressed in his interviews so far. Keep an ear out for Scheelhaase over the next week.
Texans defensive coordinator Matt Burke took over play calling in week 4, and he has been masterful. They have the #1 defense in the league. They absolutely smother opponents. And now Burke, a longtime assistant coach, has maybe been a little bit under the radar, is finally getting some notice as a potential head coach. The Arizona Cardinals have asked to interview him for their vacant job. So who is Matt Burke? Well, he played safety at Dartmouth. He's worked for 8 different NFL teams. He climbs mountains in his free time. He's done charity work in Uganda, and when you talk to folks around the Texans, they say the secret to his success is his relationships. He's comfortable talking to everybody in the building. He also, guys, happens to be from Hudson, Massachusetts, which is just about 35 miles up the road. There are a lot of people in this area with divided loyalties today, and they might have to start rooting for a new team for Matt Burke next season.
Another candidate for the Titans head coaching job is Mike McCarthy, who spent Saturday in Tennessee going through an in-person interview. This week, McCarthy will interview with his hometown team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. His father, Joe, was a Pittsburgh police officer who also owned a local bar. Mike grew up a Steelers fan and later beat them as the Packers head coach in Super Bowl 45. This would be an uncharacteristic hire for the Steelers. They've always gone young, first-time head coaches from defensive backgrounds, but McCarthy's won over 60% of his games, 12 playoff trips in 18 seasons. He might be a better fit for a veteran Steelers roster that has, frankly, struggled to score points and is going to need to develop a young quarterback sooner than later. Also bears mentioning that if there is one coach that Aaron Rodgers might consider playing for the Steelers again for after Mike Tomlin stepped down, it would be the guy that he won that Super Bowl with in Green Bay. Now let's send it back to, is that Frank Caliendo or Charles Barkley right now?
First of all, Ernie, I had to say that's really crazy. Caleb Williams does a really nice job. He's a great passer, but he's got to work on transition to defense, or Michael Jordan's going to be really, really mad. Shaq, I don't know what he's talking about, but that's what we got to do. That's what he...
Yeah, hey, Rich. Matthew Stafford, who, by the way, plans on wearing a scuba suit under his uniform in this cold weather today, was knocking on the door of 5,000 passing yards. He had 46 passing touchdowns. Kevin Byers, safety for the Bears, saying this week he's probably playing the best football of his career. Coming in here, the likely most valuable player. I spoke with 10-year veteran with the Rams, tight end Tyler Higbee, and he said to me that they think Matthew Stafford is the MVP every season. From his command to the way that he operates internally, they see a guy that is getting better every single year as a veteran on their club. And his ability, Higbee said, to carve up defenses, regardless of what they're showing, so impressive. But defensive coordinators constantly trying to find little wrinkles that maybe they haven't, the Rams, seen on film. Just not the case. Higbee said he always adjusts, and he always reacts and puts us in the right situation. And they will be counting on their MVP against Dennis Allen, who loves to disguise Rich here in Chicago today.
Well, no disguising Stafford stats. How about them apples?
Not bad.
Led the league in passing yards and touchdowns. Drake Maye led the league in completion percentage and passer rating. And obviously, the Thursday before Super Bowl 60, we'll find out who is winning the MVP award. And that's how we kick off Hour 3 of NFL Game Day Morning, presented by Intuit TurboTax. Rich Eisen, Steve Mariucci, Kurt Warner, Kyle Brandt, and Gerald McCoy. Frank Caliendo is in the mix.
Yeah.
He lurks. That's coming up in hour number 3 as we take you to kickoff of this game, taking on the Patriots and Texans for your viewer pleasure on ESPN. So, yes, Jeff Goldblum's going to join us in studio. That's
awesome.
incredible.
Really cool.
And Al Pacino joins us in studio. I mean, the stars are out.
I think Liam Neeson's coming in, too.
Morgan Freeman's joining us in studio. That's impressive. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, they are. They're all Frank impressions.
That's all right.
It's all right. We'll take it.
Now let me read this topic bar. Who needs an MVP performance more today? Matthew Stafford or Drake Maye? Whoever's won an MVP award goes first.
All right. I will go first. And I am going with the guy, unfortunately, that I don't think is going to win this MVP. But the young man in Drake Maye, to me, against this great Texans defense, is going to have a big game. And by big game, I mean big plays. That's how they've been built all year long. Started out slow last week against the Chargers, but came on in the second half. Great recognition right here, what we call kind of an inverted cover 2. Late roll, great job finding the hole, getting the big play down the field is what it's all about. We talked about those guys that are up front. They're going to be coming after him. Hey, good coverage on the back end. We'll see that a little bit too. Hey, make a big play with your legs. Another one right here. Great job here. Looking to his right-hand side. I don't like it. I got safety help over the top. Come all the way back to my 2-on-1. Get the safety to turn inside. And another big throw down the sideline. The whole shot. And then I like this last one because we talk a little bit about moving and negotiating the pocket. We got pressure right here. No panic. Slide in the pocket a little bit to your left-hand side, away from the bodies. Make the big throw down the field. You're going to have to do a lot of this against a really good defense, I think, if they come out of this game with a victory.
I did not win MVP. I did get to vote for MVP. That's as close as I can possibly get. And I'm going to say in this particular game, I'm going with Matthew Stafford. Because I'm going from a broader perspective. I think if the Patriots lose this game, Drake Maye, the future is now. The future is bright. This is great. We had an amazing season. If the Rams lose this game, this may be Matthew Stafford's last shot. I also think just Stafford's in this fascinating position in his era where he's in the gated community. He won a Super Bowl. He's totally respected. Everybody likes him. But he's not on the waterfront. He's not been to that second one. He's not gotten the second one. I don't think Matthew Stafford's on anybody's top 10 all-time list. Certainly not anybody's top 5. Maybe even not even top 5 of this generation. You get to a second Super Bowl, it is a whole different deal in the media, in the league. And this is probably going to be the best shot to do it. So I love Drake. Drake's season, it's all gravy. I feel the same way about Caleb. This was supposed to be next year's season. This might be the last good shot for Stafford. I think he needs it.
I think Drake Maye needs a big-time MVP performance. Yeah, Matthew Stafford is playing against old man winter today, and you said the snow is coming tonight, right? Well, I'll tell you, Rich, who's coming. Will Anderson Jr. is coming, and so is Daniil Hunter. They're coming, Drake Maye. So you know what? You got to know when to throw the ball hot. You got to know when to take a short sack. You got to know when to escape. Get rid of the ball because that pressure is going to be coming all day long. And if you can handle it, you will be an MVP kind of guy in my mind.
Yeah, when I think about MVP moments is where the ball's put in your hand and you have to go make that play to get your team over the top. Well, if you think about what has happened the first week, we seen Matthew Stafford, he had that moment in Carolina. It looks like they're about to go home. He doesn't allow it to happen. Drives down the field, makes a throw, gets him in the end zone. The defense ended the game, but Matthew Stafford got him in the end zone. Drake Maye didn't have that opportunity. The Chargers just were terrible. But now you face the top Super Bowl caliber defense. You go out and play well against this defense, and you go out and win this game, and they can look back and say, you know what, Drake Maye truly balled versus a defense that has given everybody trouble. If you go out and do that, that is an MVP moment, especially if the ball's in your hands to go win the game. In that stadium with the pedigree, we know who was in that stadium before you. Yep. You do it in there, that's an MVP moment.
The Texans and Patriots are going to be meeting in the playoffs for just the third all-time. Patriots are 2-0, and it's the third all-time meeting between the Rams and the Bears. Last time this happened, 1985.